there anyone wishing to speak to the council to the public comment section? Citizens wishing to address the city council on matters germane to the agenda of the meeting will be limited to 3 minutes and are asked to be brief and concise in making their remarks. Comments submitted by mail or email will not be read aloud, but a copy will be provided to each member of the council made a part of the minutes. Madam Clerk, are there any written comments today?
There are none.
Thank you. Does anyone wish to speak under the public comment section of tonight's agenda? And you'll need, if you're on the phone, you'll have to push *6 to unmute yourself. Okay. No public comment this evening. Thank you. The item number 1 on the agenda is a proclamation for Big Brothers Big Sisters declaring January's Mentoring Month. And I believe we have Miss Sarah Baca with Big Brothers Big Sisters on the line with us, along with Jenna Bothell, who is a big, and then Scarlett, who is a little. So everybody's here, I think. Hello, Sarah. How are you doing?
We're here.
Good.
You're here from Big Brothers.
And is Jenna there with you? Okay. And then we have...
We're here.
Okay.
This is Scarlett here.
Hi, Scarlett. How are you tonight?
I'm good.
Good. A thumbs up. That's what I like to see. So, council, if you'll indulge me, it says, whereas everyone remembers someone special, a neighbor, a teacher, relative, or a friend who broadened our horizons and brought purpose to our lives. And whereas these special individuals singled us out and volunteered their time to help us become engaged and stay on the right track to success. And whereas every adult has something to offer a child, and every child has something to offer our community, and whereas research has shown that children engaged in healthy and safe one-to-one mentoring relationships are more likely to graduate high school, avoid incarceration, and avoid delinquent behavior, and whereas there are a significant number of vulnerable children in our community who need and want a positive role model in their lives, and whereas our city embraces the concept of engaging volunteers to mentor children of promise in our community. Now, therefore, I, Michael J. Inman, Mayor of the City of Macomb, Illinois, do hereby proclaim the month of January 2021 as Mentoring Month. And I encourage all citizens, businesses, public and private agencies, and religious and education institutions to support mentoring and give young people in our community the gift of time and friendship through Big Brothers and Big Sisters. So there it is. I can make one get so there's no glare. So Sarah and Jen and Scarlett, if you're here, we'd be happy to present that to you, and we'll make sure we get that to you some way or another in the next few days. Sarah, is there anything you'd like to tell us a little bit about the program?
Well, of course, I guess we've been here for 20 years, I believe, in Medina County. We also are in Warren County, so we're trying to get that going. This is, of course, Jenna and Scarlett, and they've been matched probably about a year now, right, girls? And I just want to recognize this match because Jenna's a really great big and has impacted Scarlett a lot. In this 1 year they've known each other. So thank you, Jenna and Scar.
Jenna, Scarlett, do you have anything you'd like to share with us tonight?
Scarlett?
No.
I just want to say that it has been awesome. Yeah, it's awesome to be able to teach her stuff, but she teaches me more than I ever could have thought that she would have. And it's been amazing, and I love her.
That's awesome. Well, thank you, Jennifer, what you're doing. And Scarlett, thank you for being part of the program, too. We'll look forward to maybe sometime in the future meeting you both in person and wishing you all the best. Sarah, thank you for the opportunity to present this to Big Brothers Big Sisters. You guys have done and are continuing to do a great job in the greater community to make things better for young people.
Thanks, Mayor Inman. Thanks
Thank
for having
you.
us.
Alrighty, item number 2 is the presentation from the Downtown Development Director, Ms. Kristen Terry, an annual report. Kristen, it's all yours.
Thank you, Mayor. As council, it's kind of weird not seeing you guys. This is my annual report. It's pretty similar to the last 6 years. the format and everything else. Just a reminder for those that don't remember, my territory is from Jefferson to Campbell, and then to Calhoun, and into MacArthur Street. Anything in between that is the downtown. I'm not going to go over every single little thing, but I just wanted to point out some things. Last semester, I was very fortunate to work with 15 RPTA students in the programming with Dr. Robinette on Dickens. Even though Dickens did not happen, this was a class assignment for them, and they have taught me a lot, and I have taught them a lot. It was great to even have to come up and collaborate with how things could look differently. Helped with John Bannon with the census events during this in 2020. I was very thankful to be part of that. Thank you, John. And I'm not going to go over the whole list, but just wanted to go into the development. We had 5 new or relocating businesses. Battlegrounds, Capal 66, 309 Wild Daisy's Boutique, which is a new name and a new owner. The Faith Church of Macomb took residents up in one of our storefronts. The Hearing Doctor of Illinois, and then WRC relocated to their new place. Again, I love my partnerships with everybody in the community, Western. My events looked a little different. Unfortunately, for the Downtown Summer Concert Series, I was only able to do 2 of them, and we followed all the CDC guidelines that were in place. We had over 120 people in those 2 Wednesdays, and everybody did their part with wearing masks and social distancing. Farmers Market looked a little different. Worked with Chris Adams on Farmers Market guidelines to follow all the CDC guidelines, and it went very well. And very thankful for all the Farmers Market vendors for all their effort and making sure that those guidelines were followed. Again, Independence Day, a little different. Moon over Macomb, we had to come up with something completely different and follow all the guidelines. And that was able to happen, and I'm thankful for my Peace Corps fellow, Caitlin. She helped we came up with something that could be fun for families, but also that they would be in different locations at different times. Dickens on the Score did not happen, but I was trying to come up with something for families to do during the holiday season. So I came up with the Downtown I Spy game. And the Macomb Tour of Lights, we had over 40 participants that were residents that submitted their address for people to go around and see all the Christmas cheer. And then we had Santa at City Hall on the 11th, 12th, and 19th. And I have to thank Lisa Hardy, the legal assistant, and John for taking one of those weekends for me. It's about teamwork, and I'm very, very blessed to work with the people I work with. And we had over 150 children that came through on those 3 days, and I'm thankful for David Burnham. Thank you so much, Dave. He always loves to put a smile on children's face, and we couldn't have done it without him. Working with 2 potential new storefronts and the Downtown Economic Development for 2020, we awarded over $45,000 to property owners for the downtown renovation grant, and over $326,000 was reinvested in the downtown in 2020. And we're at a 91% occupancy rate in the downtown with about 9 vacant storefronts. I produced and edited over 115 videos. This is something that was new. I actually met with Phil Wise at the end of 2019 because this is something I wanted to kind of learn to promote my downtown events. And with the pandemic, it turned into more than just promoting downtown events, which I love. So I couldn't have done it without Phil Wise and actually Mark Twitchell. And so that is one thing that I have taken up is producing and editing videos. And then the city of Macomb did a small rebranding. And I organized and overseen the committee. This committee was marketing and community members. We went through and did a community survey. This is a small scale rebrand, analyzed and implemented the new city logo in tagline and community statement. And then I've been working on the website with Scott. And there is the website. It has not gone live yet. We're still working out some kinks and some other things that we need to add to the website, but hopefully shortly that will be going online. And then, of course, I have my social media platforms, just some statistics for that, my YouTube channel, and that's about it.
Okay, very full year. Any of the aldermen have any questions for Kristen? Alderman
Mr.
Gail
Mayor.
Carper.
I just wanted to add to that I appreciate Kristen's ability to adapt to changing circumstances with COVID since we've started to hear rumors of Dickens being changed or canceled. God, Kristen, I think it must have been in September. I worked with her and Nan Crossrum from the Arts Center. We put together an alternate children's shopping mall for that in maybe a week. And unfortunately, we had to end up canceling that too. But then she was able to adapt further and still find some activities for, what would have been the weekend of Dickens on the Square. So I really appreciate her ability to keep trying to produce things, even though a lot of these things, had to be changed or canceled. And I'm looking forward to seeing what she can get done next year if we're able to loosen things up a little bit. So thank you, Kristen. I think you've done a marvelous job.
Thank you.
Alderman Vajezzi.
Mr. Mayor, I also want to concur with what Alderman Carper said. Kristen, you've done an outstanding job this past year. Very pleased with the things that have happened. You've been able to turn on a dime because something would get canceled or, COVID would hit, but being able to adapt and be able to make those changes to really impact the community. Even though there was a lot of quarantine, we still had a lot of, you can tell by your report, a lot of activity. So thank you very much for everything you've done. And 91% occupancy rate downtown. We look around the different areas in McDonough County and outside of here, and a lot of downtowns are not doing well. It's great to see that we're continually looking for new businesses, to support our businesses, make sure Macomb is what we need it to be. So thank you very much.
Thank you, John.
Anyone else? Alderman Brown Edwards.
Thank you, Director Terry, for your report. I do have a couple of questions, and I'm not sure I'll just give them to you all at once. You mentioned that you did 115 videos, but they weren't mentioned. I think that would be great if we can know all the great things that you were able to promote and edit. I think that would have been excellent for us to know. And there's a couple of items that I noticed that you were at, and I was at the same events that you didn't mention. So I'm also curious to know what you decide to highlight in your report and the things that you decide to omit. I think you work hard, and I would, like for you to list everything. So I would like to know, I know there's a lot of things that you have done. So I wasn't sure why there were some omissions and some.
To actually be honest with you, Alderman Brown Edwards, maybe I didn't write it down. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay.
Maybe some things I don't know why. I usually try to write everything down, and that could be on my part as far as maybe I need to date my report every couple months, and so that way I don't lose track. But that could have been it. It wasn't in my calendar that I write everything down in. So that could have been that. And then the videos, I actually your suggestion. I didn't even think about that. I guess I was just being.
Well, I know you worked really hard with the mayor and the COVID updates, and I didn't see that in your report, and I was a little disappointed that, that's work that you've done, and it was a benefit to the community. And I was hoping that you would explain why you decided to not do it. Is it because that it wasn't as your duty as downtown development coordinator? But I thought it might have been included because it was part of I imagine one of the partnership with the mayor's office. I just wasn't sure why you didn't highlight those things. I imagine you've probably done I don't know, probably 50 or 60 of those videos just to share them all.
Yeah, and I think that, I mean, I guess I was being really vague, but I do like your suggestion, and maybe in the future I would put down every video that I do, because you are right. I mean, some videos can take some time to edit and to produce. I really found that out. So I thank Phil and Mark and all of them for everything that they do at Western. So I
Because
do
in
like
your
that
listing,
suggestion.
you have like you might have had just one meeting that you went to, but you might have spent 5 hours on editing the video that you did that day as well. So I think, I'm totally okay with you not being humble. I'm totally okay with you tooting your own horn and letting us know what you're doing. My other two questions were, I didn't see the occupancy on the square. I think that's an amazing highlight that we are 91% full. I would like to have seen that in the report. And two other things. Positive, you said that you had been, in the first paragraph, you mentioned that you had did presentations on positive things that happened on the square. And I'm kind of curious on, again, I think there's things that's missing in your report that I guess I need to know what you're creating, you're considering positive, and those presentations that you gave, and the things that I guess I need clarification on the positive. And then the second question, my last question is, I see that the new rebranding is the city colors will now be yellow and red. And I was hoping that you can give me the thought behind the committee's decision on that. That's a huge departure of the color palette that Macomb and the region usually uses. So I was just curious on that. So
Absolutely. Great questions. So the positivity, I guess I could put that in parentheses about, like the downtown revitalization, the economic development that is going on, like as far as the new stores that are downtown. Also with the downtown renovation, these are the positive things about the occupancy rate, about retaining these businesses and recruiting, and also just the money that's been spent in the downtown are all positive things that happen. And also bringing, this year is a little different, but or last year, bringing the community together at the events that I do coordinate. And then your second question was
the clarification.
Yeah, and then your second question was the logo. So the committee that was brought up, they have a lot of experience in rebranding and marketing. So the colors, actually, the sun is like we're rising, and we always find potential and new potential, and it's a positive thing. And then the yellow actually represents agriculture and education. These are things that we got out of the survey that are very well received in Macomb. The courthouse, it looks historic because that is, everybody is like, they think of the courthouse and the historic charm of Macomb. And then the red is manufacturing. That represents the manufacturing in Macomb and all the jobs that we have through manufacturing. And then the blue represents community and our military presence as far as like General Macomb and McDonough. So that's kind of what the logo stands for.
Okay, thank you. I guess now that you've broken that down for me, I appreciate, again, your clarification. Is there a reasoning behind the lowercase font? I'm concerned that us not using capital letters kind of minimizes our greatness. We're a wonderful city. We're very proactive and forthcoming in creating new innovative ideas. And E.E. Cummings, he used lower cases because he didn't want to make himself a big deal. But Macomb's a big deal. So I was wondering why.
No.
What was the thought behind the marketing choice, the committee's choice?
And actually, at first, I hated the lowercase Alderman. It was actually the M and the I are uncapitalized. The graphic designer that we worked with, it actually, when we saw that, even the committee, when we saw it capitalized, it looked old and frail. And the M and the I, just in the logo itself, the reason why is because it's modern and it won't, let's just say that we don't do a new rebranding for a really long time. This style will not go out of style. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that's kind of, because at first I hated it too. I really did. And then after a while, after seeing it capitalized all different ways, and even the committee was like, yeah, the M and the I, just in the logo itself, it looks so modern and not so old.
Thank you for answering my questions. I appreciate your time
No,
and your
absolutely.
report. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Director.
Anyone else have any questions for Kristen or any comments? Well, Kristen, I'd say you've done an excellent job this year, and I appreciate the fact of all your hard work. And as Alderman Vajezzi said, you were able to turn on a dime. The pandemic has really, affected a lot of people, particularly the events that you produce for the downtown. And yes, some of your expertise has been used in a broader sense in the community. As Alderman Brown Edwards noted, you've helped produce not only videos for the COVID pandemic, but you've also taken up the opportunity to promote other portions and other departments in the city. For example, I know we talked about the video that you produced regarding the water treatment plant, and I hope that a lot of folks have had a chance to see that on the city's YouTube channel, because it goes from start to finish on how we get our water here in Macomb. And I know you spent a lot of time producing it and editing it. So, and again, a value and an overall positive message sent to the community in a year that was, in many cases, less than positive. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor.
Alrighty, item number 3, discussion on an ordinance to create a Class P plus SS liquor license for Beeline Properties LLC, doing business as Beeline Mart Store number 10608. We had first reading on this at last Monday night's council meeting. I would note that the petitioner is on the call or at the meeting in his presence via video with us tonight. Any questions, any discussion on the issuance of that liquor license?
Mr. Mayor?
Alderman Carper.
This is a question for Lisa, if she's there.
She
I
is.
think last week she said that she had not received some legal documents. I was wondering if she'd received those so we're able to vote on this next week.
Yes, in fact, the deed was in my email inbox before our meeting was over. So the applicant was extremely responsive, and I was also able to locate it within the recorder's documents. So I have the recorded deed as well with the notation of document number. So everything is received and in order.
Thanks, Lisa.
Anyone else? Okay, hearing none, we'll have that on for second reading and final action, and then on next Tuesday's council meeting. Item number 4, discussion on an ordinance to amend Chapter 4 of the Municipal Code of the City of Macomb pertaining to residence requirements. This too had first reading at last Monday's council meeting. Any discussion, comments, or questions regarding item number 4? Alderman Carper.
Me again. Again for Lisa, was this a revision necessitated by getting in compliance with state law? Was there a court case, or what was the impetus for the change?
So we actually were contacted by 2 current liquor license holders here within the city to update their resident manager name. And so as I was looking at the code, I didn't see where that was actually a requirement. I felt like it needed to be, that we needed to have current information. So that was part of it. The definition changes are prompted by the review that we had done by Municode. Those are to get us compliant with the Liquor Control Act of 1934. So since we were in that same area of the code, I thought it made sense to go ahead and get those things amended at the same time as we were making modifications or suggested modifications regarding residency for the resident manager.
Was that the only area in that chapter that needed to be pulled into compliance, or were there others?
That's a good question. I would like to believe that I would have went through the entire chapter when I was looking at that. And I can double check on that for you, but I want to believe that I
put
wouldn't
you on the
have.
spot. I just wondered
Yeah.
if we're doing it, we might as well get the whole chapter in compliance.
And that's why I really think I did go through that whole chapter.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I'll double check. If I didn't, I will certainly let you know.
Okay, thanks.
Anyone else? All right, hearing none, we'll have that on for second reading and final action next Monday. Item number 5, discussion on an ordinance to authorize the rezoning of 1525 and 1531 South Johnson Street, 235 West Grant Street, 1218 Maple Avenue, and a part of Lot 2 of Hemp's Edition, all located in the city of Macomb, McDonough County, from R1 Single Family, R2 Single Family Residential, and R4 Multifamily to OI Office Institutional. That had first reading last Monday night. This has to do with plans to build the middle school at the school district's own property south of the current high school, junior, senior high school, and bringing those properties into compliance with zoning. Any questions or comments or discussion about that? Already hearing none. We'll have that on for second reading and final action on next Tuesday's council meeting. There are no other items on the agenda. A couple of points of information I'd like to share with you, council. Received the most recent up-to-date information from the McDonough County Health Department about an hour and a half ago regarding the number of confirmed cases and other information regarding the COVID-19 outbreak in the county. Currently, since their last reporting was last Thursday, a total of 2,065 confirmed cases since the onset of the pandemic. Currently, 50 of those are active, and there have been no additional deaths reported. So the numbers seem to be trending down. That's encouraging. Along the same lines, we would like to share with you that the Illinois Department of Public Health will be holding testing on the campus of Western Illinois University in the Tanner Hall Circle. And again, you don't have to have any connection with the university. This is for the entire community. That will be from 8 to 4 p.m. this Friday, the 15th, and this Sunday, the 17th. So the 15th and the 17th is coming Friday and Sunday, 8 to 4, Tanner Circle. There'll be plenty of signage. Free COVID-19 testing, and I would remind folks that have had any experience out there, it's been relatively positive, and I've taken advantage of the testing the last 3 or 4 times they've been here and gotten the results very quickly, usually within 24 hours. So pass those along to your constituents that is available coming up this weekend. Also, next Monday is a holiday. It's Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And there's been a tradition of an annual march here, and that's the pandemic is not going to deter that. However, there's some slightly different information. And Scott Coker, I think you have some information on the logistics of that march. Is that right?
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So the traditional Dr. Martin Luther King March that will start at the square. They will gather at 9 a.m., plan to march shortly after that. This year, the route will take it to the university campus, to the Multicultural Center, and then there will be an online program after that. There will be a press release from the university. I believe it should come out tomorrow or the next day with more details. So as soon as we receive that, we will push that press release out to everyone also.
So it's same time, 9 o'clock this coming Monday. Congregate at the courthouse outside, and then we'll go from there.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate the update. Don't believe there's any other business. I would like to call an executive session to consider information relative to the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of an employee of the public body or legal counsel for the public body pursuant to Section 2C1 of the Open Meetings Act and pending or probable litigation pursuant to Section 2C11 of the Open Meetings Act.
Make a motion
So
to go
moved.
into executive session.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to go into executive session. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Wayland. Aye. Vijezi.
Aye.
A. Carper.
Aye.
Cook.
Aye.
G. Carper,
Aye.
Brown Edwards,
Aye.
Moon.
Aye.
All ayes.
Motion carried. For the media that's on the line with us, we'll take just a few minutes to answer any questions you have. There'll be nothing coming out of the executive session this evening.
Patrick, do you have anything? Any questions?
Yes, I do. Can you tell me the last name of the woman who represented Big Brothers Big Sisters?
I'm sorry, Sarah Baca, Sarabac.